Feelings. Sorry, that's kind of how I'm feeling today. Hi, everybody. sflogicninja here, or you can call me David Earl. I don't care. So, FAQ of the week. 2 of them. Actually, I'll make it 3. So, when you have Ultra Beat, you see how you can either choose it to be stereo or multi-output, right? Which we talked about before. Well, I just wanted to say that if you you don't have to create auxiliaries anymore in Logic 8. If I hit X, and there's this little plus down here. And that little plus means that it's going to automatically create the auxiliaries that you need. And then when it's done, boy, that's a lot of auxiliaries. Anyway, I'll make 23 for now. And you'll see that they're actually attached to UltraBeat, which is very cool. If I select them all, I can also tell them, I can go Options, and I can say create arrange tracks for selected channel strips. Guess what? Now they're in the arrange window. So what's that cool for? Well, the reason we do frequently asked questions is because everybody asks me that question. How do I automate a bus? If I put a bunch of stuff on a bus and I want to automate it, if I want to have different volume levels for each output of contact, UltraBeat, battery 3, anything, this is how you would get automation tracks for them. If I hit A, now I have volume for all of them. Pretty cool. So now if I go up to this broken beat thing, it's got a rhythm that'll play. I've got my key command set to my professional keyboard. I'm going to go to my presets and go to the standard MacBook. There we go. Alright, so now check it out. We want to assign those outputs. You just go in UltraBeat, and these right here are the outputs. So I can send my snare out, or my kick to 17, have my snare go to 18. Now you're asking, hey, why do you go to a mono auxiliary instead of a stereo auxiliary? Well, kick is usually low frequency energy, and low frequency energy I usually like to keep mono and keep it panned up the center. The snare has a lot more high frequency energy. I can actually pan that if I want, but sometimes I just do it mono because if I was actually miking a snare, I'd probably just stick a mic on top of it. One mic, mono, right? Now, some of you might say, oh, well, I like to mic my snare on top and underneath. Well, if you do that, you're definitely not going to make it stereo. You're still going to sum them together to mono because you want to have the top of the snare and the bottom of the snare playing together. So anyway, this is where you assign the outputs to make outputs really quickly and easily for a multi-channel instrument. You just go to the little plus sign right there, and it opens right up. So that's very, very cool. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about was Hyperdraw. What the heck is Hyperdraw? Well, basically, we know how to do automation. I've talked about automation. But if I drag this in here, and I'm going to extend this out, and I'm going to change it to, hey, stop booping at me. Alright, there we go. Make it a nice 4-bar loop, right? So if we wanted to do volume and stuff like that, we would normally go to an automation track, right? Well, that's track-based automation. There's region-based automation as well, called Hyperdraw. If you want to see Hyperdraw in the arrange window or any of the MIDI editors, you usually go to View, and you'll say Hyperdraw. Hyperdraw is MIDI-based automation. So basically anything that's a MIDI command can be automated. So if I hit volume, all of a sudden the track is going to change slightly. So if I click inside this region now, I'm actually putting automation right on the region itself. This automation is MIDI automation, and it's attached to the region. And if I go to my automation track, it's not there. So this is good for modulation, it's good for expression, it's good for things that are very specifically MIDI driven. If I take that region and I copy it, the data automatically goes with it. Now let's say that the Hyperdraw information, you want that on your automation track. You don't want it to just be attached to the region. I need some sleep. In Hyperdraw mode, then you can actually convert it from controller data, which is the MIDI-oriented stuff, from controller data to automation data. And the way you do that is, I'm going to just, I'll make my loop this long, there we go. And if I click here, and then I'm going to command click on this other ultra beat. Now, oh, it's turning into my command tool. Use shift. I'm really sorry, I'm really tired. Okay, then I go to options, go to track automation, and it says move current region data to track automation. If it's compatible with track automation, then it's going to convert all that MIDI volume data over to track automation. So now we don't see the volume data there anymore, but if I hit A, we can see that it's actually moved into my automation track. Now, if some of you are having big issues, and this has been a lot of questions coming at me, hey, my volume all of a sudden just changed automatically. Hey, automation isn't working right. When those things are happening, it's a really good idea to get familiar with Hyperdraw information. Now, what's cool is if I go to any of the MIDI editors, I'm going to go out of this automation mode. I'm going to undo to put it back in my regions, and then I'm going to hit P for the piano roll editor. So if I have a piano roll editor, the kind of nice thing, if I go down here to the lower left-hand corner, this is Hyperdraw information. Now, it usually defaults to being velocity information, because it's all MIDI-oriented, right? But now it's automatically volume, because that was the last thing I tweaked. So the cool thing about this is that it gives you a chance to see the notes, and then you can make your automation based on where the notes lay. Whereas when you're doing track automation, it's sort of more holistic, right? Holistic? Is that right? I don't know. Yeah, not quite hopeless, but I think you guys will get something out of this lesson today. So, over here on the left, we have all of the different MIDI parameters that you can use. So you've got volume, you've got panorama, you've got balance, modulation, breath, foot control, portamento. Now I've got more than one region selected, so I need to just select one region. And then I'll make my bender information. This also works with sustain pedal. Sustain pedal is only on or off though. There's no real in-between when it comes to sustain. So it's going to be 0 or 127. But if you went through a whole performance and you have all of your notes and you start shifting your notes around, and then all of a sudden the sustain messages are off, it's because you have to have the hyper editor open to mess with the sustain pedal messages. So there you go. That's the auxiliary, how to make auxiliaries on a multi-channel out instrument, and also how to do Hyperdraw. And the difference between Hyperdraw and track automation is that Hyperdraw information is locked to the region. It's not in the automation lane, which is track-based. And you can use HyperEdit information in any of the MIDI editors. So even if I went to notation, you would still be able to view the Hyperdraw. Now right now it's not doing it because I'm in a funky mode, but you'll see that it's right. It's actually right there. Oh, it's because I have more than one selected again. So if I just select here and I go to View and I go to Hyperdraw and I go to Volume, there you are. But if you have multiple things selected, it won't let you do Hyperdraw in multiple regions at the same time. You'd either have to merge them or do them one at a time. But now I could do it. I can be looking at my score and do volume messages and then convert that over into track automation if I want to. Anyway, so the Moldover thing on Saturday went really well, and really glad people showed up. And I guess the next time I'm talking to you is when I'm getting ready for Miami, which I'm anxiously awaiting. Should be a lot of fun. So hope you guys have a great week. Feel free to email me, sflogicninja@me.com. Ciao.